present at HE2RO, and we are here to present the scope of work that HE2RO presented to us. HE2RO recently acquired a grant from USAID where they are to introduce a project called inroads, and for that matter, they are experiencing a high expansion in all of their systems. Among the challenges that they're experiencing is about recruitment, the hiring and orientation of new staffs. And here is a case scenario where these new employees actually experience some challenges. Eric is a new hire at HE2RO, the Health, Economic and Epidemiology Research Office. And by being a new hire, he's facing some challenges. He's an international, so his employment actually was long and had some inefficiency in it. And also by being an international employee, he's not experienced with South Africa, so he's lacking some guidance to the neighborhood and in the country. But also, by being an international hire, the rules and the regulations of the country, they want him to obtain some visas, some work permit, and some other stuff, and all these challenges to him. So HE2RO wanted to actually improve Eric's experience as a new employee, but the question was, how are they going to improve that? And they thought the answer is quality improvement of the hiring and the orientation process. But what do we mean by QI, or quality improvement? This is an ongoing process which aims at improving the efficiency of the service deliveries at systems or any organization. So what actually HE2RO asked us as consultants in the quality assurance, quality improvement, they wanted us to propose the quality improvement team in the organization. They also wanted us to provide them with a training manual for quality improvement and a handout for employees to get to educate themselves on quality improvement. But also, with a particular need of hiring and orientation, they want us to produce a process map for orientation and identifying some potential areas for quality improvement.
So how does an organization like HE2RO successfully integrate QI into its organization? HE2RO is an organization with about 15 people. Larger organizations have entire teams larger than that which are devoted to quality improvement. But a QI initiative doesn't have to be massive to be successful. And in that spirit, we've identified a few guiding principles for HE2RO to use for how to make QI work successfully at their organization. First is establishing clear goals and benefits. HE2RO needs to have a clear strategy for what they want to do with QI. They need all their employees to understand what that is and be able to explain what it is. What are we trying to do? What are we going to accomplish? Why is quality improvement beneficial to us as an organization and the work that we're trying to do? Second thing is a simple structure, processes, and tools. Simplicity is key here. We've recommended a small organization structure that's representative of the organization, meets infrequently but regularly, supported by processes which are clear and easy to understand, and tools which everybody needs to be trained on. We've recommended for HE2RO to use the PDSA model. It's simple, it's widely used in public health. And as Mucho indicated, we've created a guide for HE2RO to give out to its employees, which gives some basic understanding of what QI is and how to use some of these basic tools. The third point is start slow and grow. QI cannot be something that's burdensome for the organization and for individuals, or it will not be successful. So they need to start by selecting projects wisely, go at a slow pace, and set realistic goals for what they can accomplish. And the last thing is create a culture of quality at every level of the organization. An effective QI implementation really ingrains QI quality in the fabric of the organization. And so their plan needs to address quality at all levels of the organization, from the top right down to the individual employee, where we can encourage things like quality improvement by integrating quality measures into people's annual performance reviews, as one example. So here's the proposed QI team that we've suggested. It's small, a quality steering committee of about 3 people made up of senior leadership who will provide guidance and oversight for the process. A QI team made up of about 4 people from various functional areas within the organization who will meet on a quarterly basis. And then project teams, which will be established for individual projects as they're identified. The same simplicity in the organization model you see here in the QI process. We've identified 3 key steps. First, identifying potential QI opportunities comes through 3 channels. The first is integrating this as part of their annual work planning process. So the senior leadership is looking each year to identify what are the quality objectives for the whole organization that we're going to look for this year, and then we'll translate those into individual projects. Second, that quarterly QI team meeting, they'll be actively looking around the organization for opportunities as well. And third, a mechanism for employee suggestions. This could be something as simple as a confidential suggestion box where employees can submit ideas for the team to review. So once we have opportunities, we define what those QI projects are. Again, the responsibility of that QI team meeting on a quarterly basis. Once they've identified things they think will be beneficial to HERO, they define clear scope and goals for those projects, review it with the steering committee to get approval, and then establish a project team. HERO, again, is a small organization. It's very likely that that QI team might be the project team, maybe pulling a few people in, subject matter experts, depending on the process. And then finally, implementing that PSA cycle with oversight from the QI team, and any recommendations would be reviewed with that QI team and with the quality steering committee. So using a model like this, having a framework like this in place will allow HERO to successfully look at processes like the experience Eric had being hired and apply quality methods to improve the process.
So HERO wanted to evaluate their hiring and orientation process to note any areas where they could improve and implement QI. So we came up with this process. The details aren't terribly important right now, but you'll notice it's divided into the hiring on the left-hand side and the orientation on the right, both pre-arrival and on-site orientation, which on our phone call with them they specifically delineated because there were specific challenges that came in every step of the process. As Mucho mentioned, in that they're a small organization right now, they haven't really been doing a lot of hiring in the past, so they don't have any standard operating procedures in place, but they did just get an influx of funding, and so they will be scaling up their size of the operation rather quickly, and so they'd like to implement some standard operating procedures for both the hiring and orientation process. So we worked with the program manager to kind of talk through what it looked like right now and what they want it to look like, and also identify some of the areas where there might be bottlenecks. So the yellow triangles indicate areas where we noted there might be a need for quality improvement, and they're areas where HERO can continuously collect measurable data to improve the new hire orientation and the new hire experience, and improve Eric's experience so he doesn't have to fight those dragons on his own, or ultimately at all. So, on that note, his first dragon was long and inefficient hiring process. So he identified these 2 areas in developing the recruitment strategy and qualified candidates as an area where they might want to implement QI. In those areas, they could create indicators to monitor the applicant streams and see where the applications are coming from, where the qualified candidates are coming from, so that they can kind of trim away some of the inefficient recruitment strategies that they may be implementing. The second one was difficulty in obtaining international employment documents. They said on the phone that it can take up to 2 to 3 months to act from recruitment all the way to getting them into South Africa. Whereas there are just some standard lengthy times to obtain visas and things like that, it'd be helpful if they had in place things like a checklist that they could send to the applicant or the new hire to make sure that they do have everything, so that they're not about to get on the plane and they realize, oh no, I need this one work permit, it's going to delay it another 4 weeks. So simple tools like that can help them monitor how well they're doing this step and kind of decrease the bottleneck. The last one is no guidance orienting to life in a foreign country. Like I said, they've only had a couple new hires, international new hires, so they don't really have anything in place. One thing that they'd like to create is an orientation manual, which has information about the neighborhoods, how to get a bank, how to get set up, where to just all the details and all the things that you don't necessarily think about when you're moving to a foreign country, but they'd like to put those things in place. And so as part of that, we'd like them to create that manual and also a survey that new hires can fill out after they get there to kind of say what their experience was like so that they can continuously improve round after round to make their system as flawless as possible. So as of right now, HERO has no QI initiatives in place. Not really familiar with QI, so we did create a training manual for them that talks about everything that Matt presented, what is QI, how to implement it, how to start small, how to implement it for HERO. We also created an employee handout that they can give to the employees, just a brief explanation so that they can try to incorporate it into their daily work lives. And also this process map so they can start at a simple project level and then they can scale up as they identify new areas where QI can be implemented. So hopefully with these tools that we provided for them, they can start to implement QI at HERO and systemize it into the culture of their organization and hopefully improve for the better. Thank you. You're welcome. Questions?
Sorry, I may have missed it, but as a student forced to be here, I don't remember, I don't know if you said what HE2RO was, and what is it, to begin with.
Okay, I went to HERO and I continue by saying it's Health, Economics, and Epidemiology Research Office.
And you are located
In South Africa, in Joburg to be specific.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, as far as the hiring process itself, just wondering, so was it more complicated for people, for the hirees to sort of like get in contact? Was it taking a long time where they were waiting months? Or was it more just they have like a large amount of applications and don't know like how to go about eliminating candidates? Like where was the difficulty in terms of hiring?
Their biggest bottleneck right now is they're recruiting for a fellowship and they're not getting qualified candidates. For future, as they're recruiting for other jobs, I'm not sure where their biggest bottleneck will be. They are under an umbrella group in Joburg called WIT's Health Consortium, which kind of handles a lot of the intricacies of the hiring process, a lot of the HR portions. So, yeah.
To add on that, actually, HERO depends on WIT's Health Consortium as far as human resource is concerned, and to them they don't think the WIT's Health Consortium organization is a bottleneck. So is a bottleneck. They feel like it's actually doing a great job, but now because they are expanding, they want to build a culture of them having the capacity to actually monitor and do all the stuff by themselves.
So this would happen in tangent with what their umbrella organization is doing, or they're trying to almost become like, have their own independent hiring?
Yeah, they're trying to be like autonomous.
Good. All right, thank you.